Speak Prosperity Team for this week's episode of Grow Your Mind and Money. Now tonight, yes, we are interviewing IsH-iLLa. IsH-iLLa has experienced the other side of the mountain, the valley, and the mountaintop, and has used those challenges definitely to empower himself and others to see the blessings that they've been given in the face of adversity. Well, IsH-iLLa's work has touched the lives of many people everywhere, from homeless shelters to the world of entertainment. He uses his music and divine insight to make a difference. IsH-iLLa is a champion for humanity. And so, yes, as always, it is time for a little spoken word to kick off our show. And we have back with us none other than Shani, the original Sunshine Princess of Poetry. She is back with us today. Let's welcome her back. Welcome, Shani.
Oh, thank you very much. It is good to be back with you guys. I missed you so much, and I miss all these wonderful listeners. But while I was away, I got something really wonderful for you tonight. Because I was like, I got to come back something amazing. And so this particular piece goes out to all my plus size girls, all my poetically thick chicks, for all of my friends and my fans, everybody that's had my back. I think you're going to like this piece. And it's called Poetically Thick. 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 Yes, I said thick. Thick, thick. You don't have to be afraid of my greatness. Some of you are. I know who I am. I am poetically thick. Yes, abundant, so born rich, thickness, so get over it. I have. Your words have echoed in my ears for years. You are pretty for a big girl. Oh, your face is so pretty. Well, thanks for the complimenting insult. But I'm about to give it to you all, so pause for a sec. The truth is that I'm sick of it. Because size doesn't make you beautiful, nor does it make you easy. E. Marie says some of you got that plus-size porno mentality, secretly wanting a woman with meat, like we don't have standards. How dare you? Allow me to enlighten you. Your opinions don't matter anyway. Society has called us overweight, big, and fat. Well, get your life right and get a hint. My girl D said fashionable and thick, changing the way that the word fat is being used. Baby, we thick. And this is a movement, removing issues of low self-esteem, empowering her, you, and me with knowledge of self, self-empowerment, self-awareness, self-worth, and self-love. I heard them say, you can dress for a big girl. Well, sweetie, I can dress regardless of my size because, in all fairness, I got my own style. Baby, I'm poetically thick. Yes, this plus-size woman loves her curves. These curves are movements and a force to be reckoned with. I have curves for weeks, making you weak in the knees with all this sexy. And these beautiful childbearing hips and thick thighs sometimes tend to be wide, so slide over and make room. My thickness is coming through, strutting this way with much attitude. And I ain't trying to be rude, but my attitude reflects leadership, so I lead by example. So I'm ahead, and I know it's all time. Can you say winning? Baby, I am resilient. I know who I am, and I'm thick. Yes, poetically thick, fashionable and thick. Yes, I'm rocking my confidence with my curves because I'm beautiful and wonderfully made. So I dare to shine, and I dare to make a difference, and I dare to be different. So what? I am a BBW, a bold, beautiful woman. I said I am a BBW, a brave, brilliant woman, and I am thick. And they broke the mold when they made thick. Her thick, your thick, and my thick, because our curves are the shit. So please don't get it twisted. See, they said that girls are made of sugar and spice and everything nice, but we are women, and some of us are made of so much more. Yes, thick. made praline sweet, cayenne spicy, sassy and sultry. Can you say fierce and on fire? Yup, burning brightly. They noticed. So did you. So I refuse to dim my light or move so you can shine. I refuse to back down or take a seat simply because you're not comfortable with me. Because some of you can't get past the butt or the bust size to know what's inside because I'm plus size. Baby, I'm poetically thick, fashionable and thick, and this beautiful mind is full of wisdom and knowledge, and I'm deep and classy. So I refuse to be sensitive about the color of my skin, the texture of my hair, or my size, my plus size, because I love all of me, my stomach, my love handles, my stretch marks, and my dimples. And yes, it really is just that simple. I love me some me. So these issues that you have ain't my baggage to carry. So you need to hear me clearly. I love me some me. I know who I am created to be. I know who I am. And I won't apologize for loving the skin that I'm in. And I won't apologize for being me or for rocking my sexy. Baby, I was born royalty, and I am thick, fashionable and thick and curvy. And baby, yes, I have power in my walk, strength in my talk. Lord, I got it going on. I am Shiny the poet. I am poetically thick, and I am absolutely beautiful.
Yes, 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 yes.
Snap, 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 snap.
Snap. BBW.
That's right. Thank you very much. Before we continue, it is time for Money Making Thoughts with Ronnie D. What do you have for us today?
Wow. After that, I guess I have to step up to the plate. Genuine thoughtfulness. You are worthy, deserving, intelligent, skillful, and have unique value to offer. Even so, the world does not revolve around you. There are a lot of other people in this world. The more considerate you are of those people, even the ones who don't seem to deserve it, the better off you yourself will be. You are worthy of the very best life has to offer. And one of the most empowering thoughts to keep in mind is that life does not owe anything to you. Your life is filled with great possibilities. It is by acting with gratitude, humility, and genuine thoughtfulness that you will fulfill the best of those possibilities. At times, other people will anger you, frustrate you, lie to you, and disappoint you. Love them anyway, for ultimately that is in your best interest. It is easy to be understanding of those who agree with you, and immensely powerful to be understanding of those who don't. Live with understanding and genuine thoughtfulness no matter what, and enjoy the rewards that come from making a real and positive difference. What I've learned about myself and growing my mind when it comes to the theme genuine thoughtfulness and the action I will take is, I have learned that I have angered people. I have frustrated people. I have lied to people, and I have disappointed people. Yes, I have. So before I get critical, before I point a finger, I will take the action of taking a moment and thinking about the words that are getting ready to fall out my mouth, because they will have an impact. And the question is, will they make a real and positive difference? I'll see you later on in the show, but right now it's time for our special interview with IsH-iLLa. Darronell, Voice of Reason, over to you.
Thank you, Ronnie B. In the first part of the show, we will learn about a challenge IsH-iLLa faced in having his dreams fulfilled. A challenge that knocked the wind out of his sails. Somehow, some way, he kept going and used that challenge to give him strength that has made him successful in every area he chooses to focus his time and energy on. In part 2 of the show, our own Empress of Faith, Nakia, will continue to interview and look at some of the challenges IsH-iLLa faces, having his entertainment career and business vision fulfilled. We will learn about the aha moment that launched his entertainment career. In the finale, IsH-iLLa will share a couple of practices that will make a difference in reaching your goals for wealth and prosperity. Come alive with Quiet Storm. IsH-iLLa will also share the future of his career and upcoming projects. Thank you, IsH-iLLa, for being on the show tonight. Come on in here, man. Thank you for coming on with us tonight. You don't have to be shy, Ish. Go ahead.
All right. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Welcome to the show. Hey, you know, I was definitely looking forward to this, and hey, we just gonna jump right into it. So you ready?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. Well, IsH-iLLa, what we're asking in this part of the show is for you to please share an incident or time in your life that knocked the wind out of your sails when the going got even rougher and you felt like you were lost. Now, please be specific as possible so we can truly appreciate what you were experiencing during that time.
I mean, there was a lot of different incidents in my life that I had went through that knocked the wind out of me, but I think one that was specific that I can probably remember when I was more younger that actually took the spiral. You know, my life was already a life of many trials and tribulations, but I think the main time because my mind was able to grasp what was going on, I think it was around when I was 13 years old when the court system finally took me and my sisters away from my father, sexually abusing my sisters, and me having to go back and forth and try to, you know, protect them as much as I can and try to do as much as I can as a young man that was already, you know, a part of the streets and part of drug dealing and dust force. So that was one of the main things that probably knocked the wind out of me that my mind at that time could really grasp, and I knew what was going on.
Oh, wow. So you have two younger sisters?
Well, I had an older sister and a younger sister, but because I was the boy, basically, my sister's only a year older than me, so it was just basically, it was a lot to deal with because I knew that my father was sexually abusing my sisters, and I was already a full-time crack dealer, and I was trying to stay in school at the same time because it was my dream to finish school and go to high school. And it was just to be able to grab a hold of everything that was going on at that time, mind-wise. Like, my mind, it was grabbing a hold of all of us. I knew exactly what was going on, and I knew that, you know, everybody in the school knew, you know, the teachers knew, and people knew, and me still not having a stable foundation, and all I had was the streets. It was like, you know what I mean? It was one that I felt like, you know, I wasn't going to live to see 18. You know, I wasn't going to live to see a man anyway, so I just said, that was the time I just rebelled and just basically just went a little crazy and you know what I mean? Been in Chicago, just became a Chicago youngster.
Hey, but I want to just go back because.
How about during that time? That you were dealing with that? Go forward with his voice of reason.
Yeah, you said something that really.
How about during the time? You want to go with that?
Well, during that time, but you really said something that really blew me away. You said your goal was just to get out of elementary school and go to high school.
Yeah. See, I was selling drugs because of I had to feed myself. You dig what I'm saying? And I had to be able to provide for my clothes and my shoes just to go to school. So, it was a big deal to go to school. At least mediocre. I was going to school, big holes in my shoes. And still trying to deal with the fact that my father was sexually abusing my sisters, and still trying to take care of myself, and then having dreams to wanting to just finish school. It was a huge toll, man. It was like one of the biggest weights. It's like a grown person that's trying to, and I hate that this example really can't touch on the pain, but it's like a grown person just trying to manage a bunch of houses that they can't afford. So you basically in foreclosure with all of these houses. So it's like a big pressure. It's a big pain in your mind, pain in your heart. It's like, man, this is difficult to juggle. But it was like a burden like that. It's like I was trying to carry all of these loads as a young 13-year-old and just trying to let it register and think like, why is this happening to me? Why doesn't my life change? You understand? Like my mother raised us homeless on the street, in shelters and in abandoned buildings during my younger, just being a kid. So to leave that and then to leave, watch my mother and us go through poverty inside of housing and then be taken away from her to be put with our father, and then my father is sexually abusing my sisters and abusing us, it was like, when does the pain stop? So that was the time that I really had the wind really knocked out of me by the age of 13, because I had so many different things to juggle, and I can understand it all.
Wow. I can really feel that pain in your voice as you retold that particular time, man. And, that is deep. That's very deep. And I appreciate you sharing that, because that's something a lot of people may not have even wanted to express or share. And you shared that without even thinking about it. I know you said it was a lot, but a lot of things that you could have said, but you said that one, and man, you said a mouthful there, and I really appreciate you coming out with that.
Well, thank you, man. I'm hoping that, it would, anytime I tell my testimony, anytime I release what I've already been through from a past experience, I always wanted to be a testimony to help other people, because it's a lot of kids. These things go to every generation. You understand? So, and some generations are worse than others. Like this generation is worse than our generation, and it was thus far. It was even before. Our generation wasn't worse than this new generation. So every generation keeps getting worse. So when you do have a difficult testimony and a hard testimony, it's a kid that's going through even worse than what I went through. And my whole thing is to tell people so they can understand that it is life after pain. It is an opportunity to move forward, but you just can't give up. You got to keep on fighting, because everything helps you be built to be something strong if you just keep moving forward. And that's always been my motto. Even when I was a kid, though I was going through what I was going through, I just kept saying, man, I got to move forward. Though I might not make it to 18 years old, I got to see if I will. Though I am a bad kid and don't nobody want me, I got to see if I will. So that was my whole motto since I've been young. Wow. And to be honest with you, I didn't even have confidence in that really strongly until I got older and I found my faith. That's when it really gave me true confidence. Before I was just moving forward because I felt God had put something inside of me. Even though I didn't know God, I know now that it was just something He put inside of me to say, just keep going towards the light. It may be dark around here, but it's a pinch of light at the end of that tunnel. Just keep going towards that, and you'll find it. So.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna keep it right here, because this is really what is keeping me gripped to the edge of my seat with you is, as you were experiencing that at 13 and lost, during the time that you were dealing with this situation, did you blame other people about your circumstances, or did you blame yourself?
I definitely blame myself a lot, and I think the reason why I blame myself a lot is because I was such a bad kid. I was really that, like, a lot of people didn't know a lot of stuff that I was doing. Like, even my sisters didn't know a lot of stuff that I was doing. A lot of people didn't know. But sometimes I could see it in the parents, because the parents, sometimes we were parents, you can see things, especially the Chicago parents. They can see things before you even get there, before you can even open up your mouth. They know you a little demon. So they would look at me and they would know already that you own something. Like, you out here trying to cause some ruckus, and you trying to bring my baby boy and my babies up in this, and I ain't gonna have it. So, yeah, I always felt like I blamed myself because I was so bad, and a lot of people didn't know how sneaky and devious I was. I used to do crazy stuff, and I used to have little kids running with me doing it. You know what I mean? The little homies running with me and doing it, and getting them in trouble. You know what I mean? And not even taking the blame for it. I was a little shyster, to be honest with you.
Nighttime shyster. I mean, but did you blame any grown-ups? Your mother, your father?
Yeah, I definitely did. I definitely did. And I'm sorry to get off the subject and go over there just to me, but I definitely did blame my mother and my father just as well. I blame them. I blame my mother because she raised us, you know what I mean, that way. And I blame my father because he wouldn't give us the love that I felt like we deserved, like a father. Like, when we finally found our father, when the courts finally gave us our father back, he had an opportunity, which I get it now, but at that time I felt like he had an opportunity to show us a side of life and a side of love that my mother couldn't give us, because we was really, really poor. Like, we wasn't the ghetto kids, and they call them ghetto children. We was gutter children. We was ghetto, used us trying to eat right because hell was living daily. It was really hell where we were living at. And my mother had moved to Gary, Indiana to get away from Chicago, away from my father. And come to find out, you know what I mean, she had messed up to the point we had to go back to him. So, yeah, I blame my pops and I blame my mom for years. But then I realized it was just part of the testimony. It wasn't their fault. They had trials and tribulations and struggles that I just couldn't even understand at that time.
Yeah. And I get that. I get that. But at what point did you stop caring about who or what to blame?
As far as like blaming people, to stop caring about blaming people. That's what you
Or what was that moment for you that made you say, I'm gonna stop caring about who or what to blame and take control of my life or circumstance and push forward?
I think it was the day I left Chicago. It was the day I left Chicago and got on that Greyhound and came to LA. I was selling drugs for the last time, and it was like years back, man. It was like over 10 years ago, man. And I said I'm gonna leave Chicago, and I said I was just plotting. I strategically came up with a great plan to buy a Greyhound ticket in advance and go somewhere where it was hot. And I said I just die there instead of dying in the hood, because I knew that, I was already dealing with some situations in Chicago that had me caught up in some situations to where I could have got killed. And I just, at that moment, I said, I can't blame nobody else for my life. I remember I woke up, I was sleeping in my boy's car, and I was selling drugs. We wake up every morning, we roll a blunt, and we meet up on the block on the porch, on the abandoned building porch, and we just sit there and smoke and just serve. And I remember I watched these kids, they were going to school, and I said to myself, these kids, like, I can remember that was me and my little homies. We used to actually walk these same streets to go to the same school. And I remember looking at them, and I said, these kids don't even know that if they stop where they are in their circumstance, they're going to end up just like us or worse than us. So I said to myself, who's going to be an example? This is exactly what I'm looking at while I'm blowing this blunt and looking at these kids walk. I said, who's going to be that example for these young dudes to know that they can get up out this hood and be more than what they come from. So while I'm sitting on that porch and I'm waiting on my boy to come, I realize that this is my life, and I can't blame nobody for it. What I can do is I can change my surroundings and get up and go try to do something with my life and be somebody to make sure I use whatever I went through for something right instead of wrong. So at that moment when I seen them kids going to school, I said, man, I got to do something with my life. I can't just sit here because I'll be the next one to die. And people were dropping like flies in the hundred. So I'm like, man, I got to get up out of here. I got to get up out of here.
I can relate to them wild hundreds. Believe me, I can relate, man. I can relate. Yeah. And as you started transitioning, IsH-iLLa, please tell me, when would you say you started to see that light of hope and possibility, and what steps did you take to start the journey toward the light?
I think that last time, once I got to California, the last time I got locked up, I just, it went through my mind that, like how God was chasing me, basically, you dig what I'm saying, and how I had that experience with the Lord. And I decided to give my full life to the Lord. And then, after that, I catapulted, man. Like that's what it was. It was actually me finding my faith. It was me finding Jesus Christ. And then from there, that's when everything just got better. I mean, I can't even describe how much weight was lifted off me. It was like somebody was fighting for me instead of me fighting with people fighting against me all the time. It felt good to have somebody on my side for a change, and you know what I mean. And it was just bigger than words. And ever since then, I can't even tell you, man, life has been amazing. I mean, more than amazing. Even in my dumb mistakes that I made, even with my faith, I made a lot of stupid mistakes with my faith, but still, I keep seeing God pick me up and pull me through, like man, like it's real love. You know what I mean? So
it is.
Yeah,
it is.
That's what I seen the light when I got my faith in Jesus, though. So, yeah.
Were you in Folsom, Vacaville, Chino?
No, I was actually fighting 15 years. It was a little more than that, but they got it chiseled down. And I had just got out of jail 2 months before that for the same crime. And they tried to give me attempted murder, but then they end up, you know what I mean, giving me an assault with a deadly weapon with that case. And I had just got out 2 months before that for that same case. So they basically just, you know what I mean, I was actually, the Lord let me out, man. He basically released me. So he gave me more favor than what I even deserved, and he still kept giving me favor even after that, because I was getting in trouble even after that as a Christian.
So you basically, when they opened the door, the light to leave, was when you started taking flight toward that light on your journey. Yeah, basically, because I was doing it in jail. When I got up in there, God actually do a lot of stuff, and I did. You dig what I'm saying? And when I did that, he just showed me how it was easy to see God when you at the bottom, when you ain't got nothing and it's just you and him, and you want to see movement. It's like, okay, let me see if this is real then. Show me something. So I seen the light already in there because he was showing me different situations, and he was allowing light to be in every dark situation that I was in, and it was never like that. So for me, by the time I got out, I already knew I was getting out because the relationship that I was building and the experience that I was having with Jesus, it was in them jail walls. So it was like, by the time I got out, I already knew I was getting out because of, you know what I mean, the like I said, the experience that I had, and shown up, got out the exact time that I wanted to get out. And it was a beautiful, bright light at the end of the tunnel, for real. Oh, man, I know it was. But Ish, please, what words of wisdom will you share with our listeners from the theme that Ronnie B gave us, genuine thoughtfulness, when it comes to building wealth and prosperity?
Well, I would always say, man, you know, it don't matter how much money you got. At the end of the day, you can be a rich man that can be really poor. You dig what I'm saying? And you can be a poor man that can be really rich, and that's like financially and spiritually. So my thing is, it's always a spiritual aspect to it. If you get yourself inside right first, the inner you right first, the character, the personality, the heart, and the issues that you have from your past. I believe if you deal with that, with you and God, I believe that the rest just will fall into place. I believe all of the stuff that we go through is all training to be successful in God, whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, or financially. I believe that everything that you go through on a daily basis is actually like training for you to go to the next level, to be that great person God has called you to be before you leave this earth. So I think it starts with dealing with you, the issues that you have, the qualities that you have, the weaknesses that you have, the strengths that you have. It starts with you and God. And from there, everything else falls into place.
Wow. IsH-iLLa, what you've been sharing is totally a blessing. But I can relate to a lot of it. Again, I'm right there with you. I'm sitting here thinking, wow, this is hitting home. What you've been sharing is a blessing. I am moved, touched, and inspired by your story. And I see for myself opportunities to not give up, to stay with it, to hang with it, and be present to what blessings are being given to me and act upon them. We will hear more from IsH-iLLa for sure. We're going to hear more from you, my brother, later in the show. But it's time for a prosperous spirit with our very own Miss Cookie.
Thank you, Darnell. Greatness. I am God in action. When I behold the sunrise on the prairie or the majestic of a mountain, I know God is present. When I read about people helping others in meaningful ways, I see God in their actions. I'm inspired to follow the lead of generous people around me, to be of greater service by sharing more of my gifts. In my prayer time, I seek guidance from spiritual within. I realize my love, my words, and my action are the best tools for being the hands and feet of God. Just as the sun rises, I can speak encouraging words to brighten someone's day. Just as the mountain is steadfast, I can be a rock for someone in need. I set my intention to be God in action in every aspect of my life. Nakia?
Thank you, Miss Cookie. Stay tuned for The Kitchen with Miss Cookie and Quiet Storm, featuring music from IsH-iLLa on the Korner. Take us to break.
Another day, another restless night, crying myself to sleep. Another day of relentless phone calls from credit card companies demanding payment. Another day wondering if filing bankruptcy or getting one of those debt consolidation loans is the only way to go. A friend said, stop crying. Call Sharon, the debt destroyer. Sharon and her team of experts work hard to help you eliminate your credit card debt and get you and your credit back on track. No bankruptcy? No loans? Your credit card debt eliminated? I called Sharon, and her team of experts went right to work with a plan that made sense. I am sleeping peacefully, knowing my credit card debt is being destroyed and my credit is getting back on track. Have your credit card debt destroyed and get a good night's sleep. Contact Sharon, the debt destroyer, at yourdebtdestroyed.com or call 888-431-2829, extension 2.
We give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money, and we do it all with love. Okay, something smells great. I think it's a dish Miss Cookie has been whipping up in the kitchen. Miss Cookie?
Thank you, Darnell. And welcome to the kitchen. We have a great recipe to feed those hearty appetites that have been working diligently on growing their minds and money. Tonight we have simply grilled chicken salad with goat cheese and plums. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Get those pens and paper handy. Here come the ingredients. You will need non-stick cooking spray, 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast, 3/4 teaspoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of minced shallots, 2 teaspoons of honey mustard, 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, black pepper, and 1 5-ounce package mixed greens, about 8 cups, 2 cups of thinly sliced pitted plums, 2 ounces of goat cheese crumbled, about 1.5 cups. Here comes the preparation and directions. Preheat a grill or grill pan. Mist with cooking spray or line with foil to medium high. Separate the chicken tenders from the breast. Place the chicken in a large reusable, refillable plastic bag. Press air out of bag and seal. Pound the chicken with the smooth side of a meat mallet or a rolling pin until it's about a 1/2 inch thick. Remove the chicken from the bag and sprinkle both sides with 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Number 2, you grill the chicken until no longer pink in the center. 4 to 5 minutes aside on the grill, or 5 to 7 minutes on each side in a grill pan. Let it rest 3 to 5 minutes before slicing into 1-inch thick strips. Number 3, meanwhile, whisk together vinegar, shallots, mustard, and remaining salt in a small bowl. Whisk in oil and season with pepper. Arrange mixed green, plum, goat cheese, and chicken on a large platter. Drizzle dressing over it. Let 6 people go at it. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Good to the palate, and you will really enjoy that dish. It is time for the corner with Quiet Storm. Let's give her a smooch and a rose. Quiet Storm.
Hello. Looks like we're having a little technical difficulty with Quiet Storm. So while we're getting her equipment back in order, tonight we're featuring music from IsH-iLLa, who is out of Chicago, Illinois, with his album Life After Pain. And from the website, IsH-iLLa is a soulful, spiritual R&B hip-hop artist who's the singer, songwriter, and rapper on his new EP, Life After Pain, with a raw edge to his music that brings an honesty and melodic fusion meeting inspiration and spirituality. He is sure to be next. As you know, we asked the team to vote whether the track should get a smooch and a rose or if it needs more fertilizing. But before we do that, IsH-iLLa, please tell us a little about the first track we're about to hear, Life After Pain.
All right. The first track is basically Life After Pain. That song is really close to me because I was going through the experience of having a lot of people that just didn't want to move forward with life no more. And had a situation to where I had a homie, and then I had a friend, and then I had a few other people that wanted to take their life. They didn't want to move forward with life no more. And then my wife actually had a friend of hers that who was actually one of the only people at our wedding, because we had just a hood wedding, basically. It wasn't even a hood wedding. It was just a wedding with nobody there but me and my wife. Me and my wife had two witnesses. So anyway,
a hood wedding.
Yeah, it wasn't even a hood wedding. It was a gutter wedding. And the only people that was there was the young lady and this brother that brought us to the church so I could get married. So it was basically people that was appointed by God, but she ended up taking her life, and she was a blessing to our life during the whole time that we were our first few years of marriage. So I wrote the song for anybody that was feeling like her, or that was going through some kind of loss or some kind of hurt or some kind of pain, that they wouldn't just stay there and think that that's it. There is life after pain if you just don't give up there. Just take whatever you're going through and allow it to teach you. That was my whole motto for writing the song Life After Pain. I wanted people to take it and know that you can get up. 5 or 10 years from now, this too shall pass, and next thing you know, you'll be smiling, happy with family, friends, and great situations. That's just but a moment, and that too shall pass. So that was my whole point of writing Life After Pain.
Well, let's check it out, and we're going to find out if Life After Pain is going to get a smooch and a rose, or if we're going to have to fertilize you, guy. Let's check it out. Life After Pain.
Feel ya when you say many it broke your heart and it kills ya. Played on your innocence, tore it apart, and now you're so done. Instead of love, bitterness took your heart, and you're so young. Seems like had the picture perfect plan, this pain is for your life. Though it didn't work out the way you like, but it's alright. Though there's darkness, God's bright light still shines in the morning time. But morning's eve, open the door, don't close it no more. Love hurts, but it's worth it. You broke all your rules just to make one more move, and it ended up hurting. Now you feel that life is over, say it and done now. Don't be afraid, just stay in the game. It's still life after pain. Whoa, whoa, life after pain. Still life after pain.
Don't stop, your life's a Picasso. Better days are coming and it's coming in the yard. Don't stop, your life's a Picasso. Better days are coming and it's coming in the yard.
Mistakes made, that's part of life's big journey, but give in the pain. Cause if hard times come, don't let it up, it's still your plan. There's so much promise in your future, choose to love again, live again. Love again, live again. I ran around that beat like a marathon, and everybody looking at me like he won't lie. I got that next seat like the Senate, just because my life was dark, I ain't finished now. I'll be back with the plan, like the playoffs on my game. So much scar, so much pain, but I made it anyway. Now my picture got my frame, cause I just say what I like. I've been broke down with a boat, got hope down, but I back up with my straight life. Without a chain, I got Jesus' peace. Without his love, I couldn't even breathe. If you see something, leap in, that's me peeking into success 4 seasons. Somehow I knew that I would find my way. Hey, the bad gon' come, but the good is round the way. So if they tell you it's gon' be okay, it really, really will be okay. So it's alright. it's okay. It's alright. It's okay. Before you know, this time will blow and another day will come and show and shine. Oh, shine. Open the door, don't close it no more. Love hurts, but it's worth it. Just to make one more move and it ends up hurting. Come on, you move now. Don't you give up, 'cause you're hurting in life after pain. Open the door, don't close it no more. Love hurts, but it's worth it. You broke all your rules just to make one more move and it ended up hurting. Game is still life after death. Open the door, don't close it no more. Love hurts, but it's worth it. You broke all your rules just to make one more move, and it ended up hurting. And feel that life is over, said and done now. Don't be afraid, just stay in the game. It's still life after death.
Life after pain. Life after pain. Well, just like we promised, we're going right to our panel. And panel, we definitely want to know, is life after pain getting a smooch and a rose or free fertilizer tonight? And we're going right to Miss Cookie. Miss Cookie, you are up first.
I will give it a smooch. I won't give it a rose, but I'll give it a smooch.
All right. Okay. Well, Miss Cookie says she is giving it a smooch. And so we segue on over to Darnell.
I'm giving it a smooch and a rose. Yeah, that was I like that. That was a good emotional song. I could feel the feeling in it. I could feel it. I could really feel it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Lady and Empress, Nakia.
I'm going to give that track a smooch and a rose. It was very authentic. It was compassionate, and it really gave me a good identifying picture of the message based on so it was nice. I'm sure she would be proud.
Wow. Shani?
I think the words were extremely powerful. I'm going to give it a smooch.
All right. And Ronnie B.
I'm giving it a smooch in a roll. IsH-iLLa. Go for it.
Well, IsH-iLLa did go for it, and he hit the nail on the head. It was very, touching, very salient, and it went right to the heart. So I have to give it a smooch and a rose. And that will take us right on through to our next track from this wonderful artist. This track is called I Ain't Going Back. Hit it!
Street dreamer, street. Sometimes you wake up stressed, put your ass up on your chest. Out there trying to get it, don't care about what you did. Sometimes you choose the wrong path before it finally click. My wife, my kids, my family, all this. I never knew how much I would sacrifice for love. Have to go through changes, big on your thumb. Girl, and even dead homies made a G grow up. I'm changed, but it's coming so rough. So I ain't going back to where I used to be. I'm leaving it all behind. I ain't going back to where I used to be. Leaving it all behind. Right around my old hood, right around my old blocks, where we used to bang at, where we used to slang rock, man. Look at life done changed, yeah. Coming from the south side, Chicago to GI, it's pushed up in my blood that I had to be a ride. House with BPS, hit that chest and do this five up, then kill these demons so they bloody fall. So street dreamer, street. Said I hear them keep them calling and it's always dirty Monday. Street dreamer, street. Man, I pray 'cause it's wrong now. It's time to go all again. I ain't going back to where I used to be. I'm leaving it all behind. I ain't going back to where I used to be. I'm leaving it all behind. Just didn't know why. Quick to squab or die. Quick to hit a lick. There's a plan, homie, I'm with it. Throw back visions of youngsters, hustling just to survive. Copper A-ball and the code of Peter, go to school fly. I wanted the classic white Reeboks with the baby blue Jabos. Watching big homies hop out the cutlass on hundreds folks. We were so young, we didn't know what we were doing was wrong. Infatuated with the streets and Jesus still saved my soul. I ain't going back to where I used to be. I'm leaving it all behind. I ain't going back where I used to be. I'm leaving it all behind. I ain't going back to where I used to be. I'm leaving it all behind. I ain't going back to where I used to be. I'm leaving it all behind.
And yes, that was I Ain't Going Back by IsH-iLLa. And of course, we're going right back to our same panel for another round of What Do You Think of That? Darronell, let's start with you.
Oh, yeah, I like that one. Ain't going back. I heard that IsH-iLLa. Smooch in a row.
All right, got our first smooch and a rose. And next up is Miss Cookie.
That didn't do too much for me. So I'm going to have to give him a little dab of fertilizer on that guy.
Right. Well, to each his own, to each his own. Thank you, Miss Cookie. Shani, our resident sunshine princess of poetry.
Cookie is ready. I'm sorry. Crack me up. I actually like that track a little more than I like the first one. I'm going to give that one a rose.
Okay, all right. The Empress of Faith. She knows who she is.
Hey. I'm going to give that a smooch and a rose. I got the message from you. If you can move me with your message, not so much the words or the music necessarily, but, I mean, not the words, but the music or the beat. If you can allow me to think and pay attention to your words, yeah, I'm with that.
It was very positive. Ronnie B.
Well, I don't know. I think the panel been a little rough tonight, brother, brother IsH-iLLa, but I got the message too. I ain't going back. I ain't going back. So I'm giving that a smooch and a rose. Now I'm the opposite of Shani. I just really like that first track, but I'm still giving this one.
I didn't like it.
No, I know you said you like, but you said you like this one better. I like the first track better, but
now,
but I ain't going back. I don't care what nobody say.
We are a diverse.
Pick an argument.
We are a diverse group.
Correct. That is correct. And yes, we are a diverse group. You know, I'm not much into the hip-hop thing, but this was very soulful. That's what I really appreciated. He has a wonderful voice. I think everybody can agree with that. And I love the message, so I must give it a smooch and a big old rose. Well, Nakia, what's coming up next after the break?
Up next, Johnny's Sunshine Lounge. My interview with IsH-iLLa and Voices from the Ethers. Please stay tuned.
I ain't going back.
Credit card debt was kicking my butt. Filing for bankruptcy was not for me. I spoke with those debt consolidation people who only wanted me to keep the debt I had for what seemed like a century. A friend said, "Your debt destroyed." I said, "What?" They said, "Your debt destroyed." They said, "Contact Sharon at Your Debt Destroyed and let her team of experts eliminate your debt while building up your credit worthiness." I contacted Sharon, and she put her team to work to destroy my debt with a plan that was easy to follow and gave me and my family peace of mind. Don't consolidate your debt, eliminate your debt. Contact Sharon at yourdebtdestroyed.com or call her at 888-431-2829, extension 2.
I know I'm back. But we give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money. And we do it all with love. Now it's time to visit the lounge. Shiny, the original Sunshine Princess of Poetry. Please take it away.
Thank you, Darnell. Hello there. Welcome to Shiny's Sunshine Lounge, where we feature a mixture of ditties that will stimulate your mind and maybe even having you tapping your feet. What? Tonight we have an awesome poet, Zone 88, performing Knock Knock. DJ, that mic is hot.
As a boy, I shared a game with my father. Played it every morning till I was 3. He would knock on my door, and I'd pretend to be asleep till he got right next to the bed. Then I would get up and jump into his arms. "Good morning, Papa." And my papa, he would tell me that he loved me. We shared a game. Knock, knock. Until that day when the knock never came. And my mama takes me on a ride past cornfields on this never-ending highway till we reach a place of high, rusty gates. A confused little boy, I enter the building carried in my mama's arms. Knock, knock. We reach a room of windows and brown faces. Behind one of the windows sits my father. I jump out of my mama's arms and run joyously towards my papa, only to be confronted by this window. I knock, knock, trying to break through the glass, trying to get to my father. I knock, knock as my mama pulls me away before my papa even says a word. And for years he has never said a word, and so 25 years later I'll write these words for the little boy in me who still awaits his papa's knock. "Papa, come home, 'cause I miss you. Miss you waking me up in the morning and telling me you love me. Papa, come home, 'cause there's things I don't know, and I thought maybe you could teach me how to shave, how to dribble a ball, how to talk to a lady, how to walk like a man. Papa, come home, 'cause I decided a while back I want to be just like you, but I'm forgetting who you are." And 25 years later, a little boy cries, and so I write these words and try to heal and try to father myself, and I dream of a father who says the words my father did not. "Dear son, I'm sorry I never came home. For every lesson I failed to teach, hear these words. Shave in one direction with strong, deliberate strokes to avoid irritation. Dribble the page with the brilliance of your ballpoint pen. Walk like a god, and your goddess will come to you. No longer will I be there to knock on your doors. You must learn to knock for yourself. Knock, knock on doors of racism and poverty that I could not. Knock, knock on doors of opportunity for the lost brilliance of the black men who crowd these cells. Knock with diligence for the sake of your children. Knock for me, for as long as you are free, these prison gates cannot contain my spirit. The best of me still lives in you. Knock with the knowledge that you are my son, but you are not my choices. Yes, we are our father's sons and daughters, but we are not their choices. But despite their absences, we are still here, still alive, still breathing, with the power to change this world, one little boy and girl at a time. Knock, who's there? We are.
Yes. Santa, that was Zone 88. And I need to know if he's getting snaps or rotten tomatoes. So we are going to start off with Quiet Storm.
Quiet Storm is quiet no more. That was awesome. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, man. Woo. I definitely have to give him a smooch and a rose. Yes.
That's that.
No doubt about it.
That's what's up. Nakia, my love.
Snap. I'm going to definitely have to give him that. That was a message for so many men of the world and so many youth of the world that go through experiences and are trying to survive and understand. So these messages are powerful tonight. Snap. So tapping.
That's what's up. IsH-iLLa, how you feel about that track?
I thought it was very powerful. I thought he touched a lot of different angles of what us brothers and a lot of parents, a lot of fathers go through, and a lot of fatherless kids go through just as well. So, yeah, I thought it was amazing.
Snap.
Oh, yeah, snap. That's how y'all do it. Snap. Yeah. Snap. About 3, 4, 5 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, snap. The feet and the hands. Snap.
Yes. Ronnie B.
Well, I was listening to the words that the man was, putting out there, and the message he was trying to eloquate, and coming from a hip place, and being a guy who knows about Harold's Chicken in Chicago. I got to get a brother some snappity snaps.
Yes, you a mess. I ain't playing with you tonight, Ronnie B. Darnell, my love.
Oh, yeah. Zone 88. Knock. Snap.
Yes. That track was freaking awesome. Zone 88, I loved it. Knock. Yeah. We getting snap, toe tap. I'm over here dancing, doing flips, Ronnie B. I mean, yeah. So if you I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did, the performance from Zone 88. You can check him out on oldgrumpyhouston.com. It is time to continue our awesome interview with IsH-iLLa. Nikki, take it away.
Thank you, Shani. IsH-iLLa, wow. Thank you for your sharing and your willingness to be open and authentic. In this segment, we will learn more about IsH-iLLa and some of the challenges he faces having career and business succeed and exceed all expectations. IsH-iLLa, please share the aha moment when you knew in your heart of hearts that being an entertainment professional was the right thing for you to do.
I mean, what I realized it when I realized I had a voice. I didn't know that being so young and coming from where I came from, I didn't think that anybody wanted to hear what I had to say.
Wow.
But I realized that God has given me a gift. He gave me a gift. And in my gift, I have a voice, and I can choose to build people up or tear people down. And with that, I knew at that moment, I think when I left Chicago and got on that Greyhound, and somebody in the hood told me, they said that, I think it was a week before I left, he was like, man, you can really sing, man. And I wrote a song, and it was like, you really wrote that song? And I was like, yeah. And they just said, man, you can really sing, man. You don't belong here. Like, you should be somewhere, being a superstar. So I guess by the time I got to LA, and all of a sudden I came alive. I seen myself being free from what I couldn't do or what I couldn't be. Once I left my surroundings, Hollywood and LA allowed me to be something that I never was a singer, was a singer. And that's when I realized that I had a voice. It was like, wow, I'm actually really good at this. I became a street performer, and I used to stop famous people on the street. I used to perform outside of clubs with other homeless kids and had them do bebop, and I used to just freestyle songs and sing, and I had so much courage and so much rhythm and flavor and swag, and they used to love it. They used to put money in my hat. Everybody. I mean, so many famous people at that time, and it just made me feel like, wow, I actually got a voice, and I can use it to help build this generation up or tear them down. And I wanted to say something, but I just didn't really know what I was supposed to say. But that was the time that I realized it when I came out here.
Wow. Well, thank you. So what circumstances or people challenge you in having your entertainment career, and the difference you make exceeds all expectations? And what are you doing to overcome those obstacles?
Well, I think the people around me over the years that I did music with, they all challenged me. They challenged me because of what we would talk about. It was seeming like we were all talking about the same thing, and we wanted to probably reach for more. And of course, my surroundings and everything that I came from, it all was a challenge to me to want more and want to write more better. As far as where I am now, my new album, Life After Pain, it dropped May 15th, and I've gotten a bunch of blogs and a bunch of magazine interviews, and gotten some nice rotation overseas right now. Life After Pain got 19 radio stations from the last time I looked, because it keeps growing.
Wow.
And every other day, I'm getting radio stations that's approving my music, that want to play it, on different stations. And by June, I know the FM stations that I'll be playing on.
Oh.
And
nice.
Yeah. So it's all a working process. But one thing I understand is that everything that I came from, it was for these moments. Okay. All of the pain, all of the suffering, all of the fighting, it was all part of a chapter for a great book. And that's a great book that God is creating as my legacy. So for me, this is just the beginning of something so incredible. And I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful to Him for letting me understand it from this perspective, because that pain could have destroyed me. But it actually made me much more wiser than I ever thought I could be, and much more stronger. than I ever was. So, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. So, share with us, would you be willing now to share with us a disappointment that involves working with others that still has you shake your head today, a disappointment?
A disappointment for working with other people or myself? Or?
Just a disappointment in general. I mean, you can take it from that perspective of working with others. Well, that's what it says, working with others.
Well,
have you shaking your head still when you think?
Well, I always look at only disappointment that I probably would have is that I wish people can see. I wish people could see like God wanted them to see.
Wow.
That's probably the only disappointment, because once you see from a God's perspective, you see that life has so much strong purpose and so much meaning, and it's more than just what you went through or the right now.
But relate that to a specific moment that you worked with someone else and they were not able to see that moment that impacts you today.
I mean, a friend of mine getting killed. I mean, me trying to get them to understand that, just because you was raised in these surroundings, that don't mean that's who you are. And the disappointment is that they don't believe it.
Wow.
Though they see that you've made a change, and though they see that, it's something that helped me come from that dark place, they don't believe that they get that same favor and that same love. And, the Bible do say God is not a respecter of person. So that's one of the disappointments, is that watching somebody that has so much potential, but they don't believe it themselves.
Wow. Okay, thank you. So, please share a specific moment where your efforts and the memories of the work you and others did still brings a smile to your face today. Okay, I heard a giggle. What you got?
Yeah, all glory be to God when I say this.
Right.
The Lord blessed me and my wife to start a homeless ministry back in like 2007, 2008, and it's been going on from then until now. And there's many stories, but I think the one that sticks out the most is that we had to take this guy in and help him out, and he wanted to know, would the Lord take him off crack and give him a future? And I used to sell my CDs on the streets and walk the streets and sell my music, and as I sell my music, I would pass out the bag lunches before I sell my music. So I would go into an area, and it would be 7 bag lunches with the message of the gospel on there. It could be a turkey sandwich, a water, and a bag of chips that my wife would make. And I would go out there on the streets, and I seen him the first day, and the second day, the first day he got the sandwich, he was kind of blown away by the message and everything, because he was actually having an encounter with God without that. And then just to get the message, it was just really powerful. So the next day, he just asked me, he met me again, God let him meet me again, and he asked me, could God get him off crack? And he was going to go smoke some crack at that time. And a long story short, he ended up becoming a minister himself, a strong minister himself, and the Lord blessed him be delivered from drugs and in the church, and he became a minister himself. He became a full-time minister, and it was really beautiful, because to see him, and I reminded him that like a few years, later I reminded him, and before I can get it out, he reminded me about that moment and let me know, like, God did what he said he was going to do. So I think that's one of the moments that I just laugh at and just say God is good, because the way He did it, it was just really powerful, and it's still fresh. It's still fresh. It's like it was just like it was yesterday, which was years ago, but it was just like it was yesterday. And that brother, he's doing incredibly well.
Awesome.
So that's a blessing. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, IsH-iLLa, I know that we can definitely talk forever, and it's time to hear from our listeners. So before I bring Quiet Storm on, I just want to thank you for your willingness to share and be authentic. And Quiet Storm, what do you hear from
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we do have some voices from our listeners. And the first voice that we have here, this person writes, God bless you, Miss Cookie. Your response to the theme, the world you see, surprised me. You are usually very inspirational, and I guess even you can have a down day and need some love. If there's one thing I've learned from you and from Grow Your Mind, it is to believe in the dignity and power of human beings as children of God. I have heard many of the interviews where people were sharing how they overcame adversity and created a world of goodness and hope. I think the world you see is one of the most important messages this show has shared with us. It's about what we choose to see. We can choose to see the magnificence of God's work in others and in ourselves, despite the appearances of lack and evil. We can choose to see the love in the world that Jesus gave His life for us to see, and grab hold of it in times of struggle. We can choose to see and honor that we are all God's children, and perfection we have is a God-given, so that we can be humble and true to ourselves to the grace that has been bestowed upon us. I love you, Miss Cookie. You are my hero. God bless. Wow, now that one came from Jermaine Barrasso. And Jermaine, Miss Cookie definitely appreciated that one. So did we all. Our next voice from the ethers writes, I miss Shani. I miss Shani's poems that you played by her fantastic, as well as, let's get this right. I miss Shani. The poems you played by her were fantastic, as well as the theme for the night, The World You See, really thought-provoking. The music from Natasha Mosley was really good. Smooches and Roses. I do agree that she should do her own thing, not try to conform to the industry. Well, that was a little bit of a critique coming from Deborah Friedman on a musical guest that we had last week. And we definitely appreciate all of our voices from the ethers. They keep us up and running. Darnell, take us to break.
If you say so, Quiet Storm. Coming up in the next segment, the finale, with IsH-iLLa, my homie from Chicago. Food for thought and the prosperity work.
Lord, I confess I've made mistakes. I have accumulated too much credit card debt, and now I cannot imagine overcoming it without your help. I beg of you to intercede on my behalf. Provide me with the financial means to be able to breathe again. Please forgive my sins, Lord. Walk with me. Help me to make the right decisions throughout my life. I'm Sharon, the debt destroyer. I work with people like you, good people, who need a way to eliminate their credit card debt and get back on the path to prosperity. My team of experts will work hard to help you eliminate your credit card debt and get you and your credit back on track. No bankruptcy, no loan, your credit card debt eliminated. Have your credit card debt destroyed? Contact me at yourdebtdestroyed.com or call 1-888-431-2829.
Welcome back. And yes, baby, we give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money. And you better believe that we do it all with love. It is time for the finale. Over to Quiet Storm. We are in your hands.
Thank you so much, Shani. Well, IsH-iLLa, let me tell you, it has definitely been such a special treat having you on the show. And I mean, I am 10 feet off the ground just from listening to you share so freely. But I do have some questions for you. Let me first begin by asking you, what challenges do you see lurking in the waters that will try to slow you down or even take you off the path from growing your entertainment career and having it succeed beyond your expectations, beyond your wildest dreams?
I guess conforming back to where I used to be. I mean, I do see that always coming about, and basically trying to conform to what the world is doing instead of what God has asked me to do. I think that's always going to be a fight. You know, even when I'm successful, I always look at, the influence and the peer pressure still is even as a man, you still have to stand around your peers and stand up for what you're called to do and what you believe in, and you have to go through the ridicule all over again, and the doubt and the rejection and the neglection and the disrespect. I mean, everything. You got to go through a lot of different things. I mean, people disrespect you left and right because you stand on what you believe in. But I think it's really important to always, for me now, because I have a broader understanding, I think it's very important to always keep my eyes on the prize, and that's God. I think if I always keep my eyes on the Lord, I'll never forget why I'm here and what I'm supposed to do, regardless of all of the rejection and the disrespect and the neglect. And I think that it comes with the territory, and when it comes, you just do the same thing you did before on that first level, on that second level, on that third level, on that fourth level, until you reach the pinnacle of your life, and then you go home to be with the Lord. So it's always going to be that tries to pull you back. But at the same time, you got to pay your dues. So I've been through a lot of it already, and the next level, the bigger the level, the bigger the devil. So got to take it with the territory.
Wow. All right. Well, how about sharing with us 2 pitfalls that you've seen other people fall into especially when it comes to being consistent in their actions for growing their careers, maybe even their own wealth, their own health, or their well-being? What have you seen other people fall into when it comes to that? Can you share 2 pitfalls with us?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say specific people, but I've seen, and it's not easy. This is difficult. When I say this, I don't say this judging anybody. I say this, and I'm actually talking to myself. I'm ministering to myself when I say this. It's falling away from God. Is leaving the comfortability where God had brought you, where you was once uncomfortable. God made it comfortable for you, but then you leave that again to conform to something that you used to be or that you want to be, or that's not even that you want to be, but something that you used to be comfortable with. I've seen that many times, and because you don't see what's next, because you don't understand what's next, we stop walking by faith and try to walk by sight and end up leaving God and doing it our way and going back to, I guess, a dog goes back to his vomit, basically. And I've seen a lot of people do that and lose the path that they were on to reach their purpose. So right now I'm 10 years in as a Christian, and I've made major mistakes. I've made so many different, turns and flips in the midst of being with God, even as a strong Christian. And for me, it was like, just don't give up. Just don't give up on looking at God, regardless of what you've done or what you're doing. I'm just more like, don't stop looking at him. Don't stop keeping your eyes off him, because he can still lead and guide you if you just keep your eyes on him and y'all have an understanding that where you're going and where you're drifting off to is wrong. I've always tried to be honest with myself in that, because a lot of times I know that it's possible to be that person to 1 minute be talking about God and talking about the Lord and trying to live for him, and the next minute be gone. So I've always been honest with myself to say, it can easily be you, just like it was that person or this person. So just keep your eyes on him and keep fighting for him, regardless of how many mistakes that you make. And in his time, he'll change you and give you the understanding of why you had to go through that. So that's been my motto. Wow.
Another powerful bit of insight from you. Well, IsH-iLLa, would you please share with us one practice that you use daily to keep yourself in action and focus on the results that you intend to produce?
Praying every day, repenting and praying every day. And I won't get too religious on nobody, too religious out there for the viewers, but that is my motto. And I'm being as transparent as I can. And the main reason why is because I'm hoping that this will touch and help people out there that's trying to walk with God. Not doubting, not denying God. Because I can't say that I don't doubt God. Many times I've doubted him, even when he said that this was going to happen. And I say, man, are you sure, God? I don't know. And then he makes it happen. And I'm like, I'm sorry for doubting you. So I would say the main thing for me is I make sure I wake up, and I make sure me and my wife do this together every day. I don't care which part of the earth we're at. We could be together, separate. We waking up in the morning and we're praying, and before we go to sleep, we're praying. And we've been doing this since we've been Christians. And in that process of praying, I'm making sure I admit the wrongdoing that I did that day. I don't care how ashamed of myself I feel, how bad I feel about it. I'm going to do it because God said he'll forgive me for my sins if I just repent. So I make sure that I just continually, every day, assess myself, check myself, and be honest and say, Lord, I did this. I did do that. I'm sorry. And let God wash me clean and let me live to fight another day for him. Regardless of how long or how much I messed up, I make sure that I don't just sit there and let it pile up. I repent and continually to ask God to forgive me. And that's been my secret with being able to continually to fight for God, even in my mess ups. It's been turning into beautiful messages at the end of the day. So.
Wow. Very powerful insight. Well, why don't you tell us, what do you have on your plate coming up? And definitely, how can our listeners learn more about the projects and activities that you're involved with?
Well, my website is basically a nice little message board for people who want to keep tabs on me and keep in touch with what I'm doing. I'm always putting new stuff on my website, also on my Instagram and my Twitter. I'm also putting different things up there just as well of what's new. For right now, I'm actually trying to shoot a video for Life After Pain and Ain't Going Back. And like I said earlier, it's being collected by a lot of different radio stations and a lot of different blogs and magazines. And a lot of people are basically just hitting me up and letting me know how the music is touching them. And it's been a blessing because, you know, I don't know if you guys, I told you guys this, but, you know, it was a blessing that God blessed me to get Chance the Rapper to actually tweet about me about Life After Pain, a song. And he tweeted about it on his Twitter. And from there, a lot of things start happening. He told people to repost it, and he told people IsH-iLLa was just a really dope gospel artist. You can check the tweets out on my website. And then that was like in 2014 of December, and then 2015, the Fader magazine came out, and I ended up being the last 4 paragraphs in the Fader magazine about how Chance the Rapper and I first had met. So it's just that there's been a lot of things happening ever since then. It's like, you know, it's something going down and something great is being built. So I'm just letting God do it. And in the midst of that, I'm just allowing the people to come in that want to be a part of this project and want to help and want to see this kind of movement move forward. I'm just letting them in, man, and just letting them, you know what I mean, play their part and play their position inside of this great story that's being built by the Lord. So yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot of other things too, but I can't really say until they happen. So a lot of stuff on the table just as well, but I can't really say it until it happens. So I just let everything fall into place, and from there you'll know what's supposed to be there and what's not.
Completely understood. And you're just an impressive young man.
Thank
well,
you.
Ish, you're welcome. And we want to thank you again for, you know, choosing to be on the show. Thanks for coming on Grow Your Mind and Money. And definitely, please come back and visit with us again, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, no doubt, Lady Nakia is whipping something up for us on Food for Thought. Lady Nakia, what would that be?
Well, Quiet Storm, let's see. Food for thought. Genuine thoughtfulness. Genuine thoughtfulness. You are worthy, deserving, intelligent, skillful, and have unique value to offer. Even so, the world does not revolve around you. There are a lot of people, a lot of other people in this world. The more considerate you are of those people, even the ones who don't seem to deserve it, the better off you yourself will be. You are worthy of the very best life has to offer. And one of the most empowering thoughts to keep in mind is that life does not owe anything to you. Your life is filled with great possibilities. It is by acting with gratitude, humility, and genuine thoughtfulness that you will fulfill the best of those possibilities. Okay, at times, other people will anger you, frustrate you, lie to you, and disappoint you. Love them anyway, for ultimately, that is in your best interest. It is easy to be understanding of those who agree with you, and immensely powerful to be understanding of those who don't. Live with understanding and genuine thoughtfulness, no matter what, and enjoy the rewards that come from making a real and positive difference. An action I can take for myself when it comes to the theme genuine thoughtfulness is to surrender all. No matter the situation or the circumstance, no matter the test, the trial, or the outcome of the testimony, surrender all. Too often we try to say, God, I'm going to give it to you. Lord, I'm sorry, I apologize. I was trying to do it for you. You don't need my help. I'm going to back up. I'm going to take my hands off of it. But being who we are, living the life we live, our egos, our mindsets, the way we were raised, the way we were taught, the challenges we faced in life, the development or lack thereof of our character.
What about you? Stop telling us about them and explaining it.
I'm speaking
what
of
about
me.
You? You sure wasn't. You really
I
were.
love you.
You really don't tell everybody that, because then they might know whatever.
Okay, for me personally, what I will do.
Start. We didn't need to know that it was you personally, because that was what you were supposed to be doing in the first place.
That's what I was doing. You know what, y'all? This is why this is such a unique show. Okay. Me. My genuine thoughtfulness, to continue to surrender, to continue to give it up to God, and not take on or take back what I gave to Him to deal with. To continue to
how about that?
How about what?
What you just said.
To give it to you?
Try saying with that whole thing you just said, and then don't say anything else.
Okay.
Try it out.
Okay. Genuine thoughtfulness. To surrender to God, to give it to Him, and don't take it back, no matter what. Quiet storm? No. Down.
No, I didn't say pass it over to quiet. I said and not say anything. So try it one more time.
Genuine thoughtfulness. To surrender to God and give it to Him without taking it back.
Wow. Wow. Please move it along.
Over to Darnell for the prosperity word.
That's my girl, the Empress of Faith. If you didn't know, now you know. Forgiveness. A great way to be present to the power of genuine thoughtfulness is to start with forgiveness. When we forgive ourselves and others, we create a space for divine good to enter. We allow the transforming power of divine wisdom to take root and alter the past, which creates a future that was previously impossible and improbable. The work. Create a list of 10 areas that cause you suffering that you are willing to let go and let good replace genuine thoughtfulness. On separate sheets of paper, write the area of suffering at the top. Underneath that, write the following affirmation until it fills every space, nook, and cranny of the page. All that has offended me, I forgive. Within and without, I forgive. Things past, present, things future, I forgive. I forgive everything and everybody who can possibly need forgiveness for the past or present. I forgive positively everyone. I am free, and they are free too. All things are cleared up between us, now and forever. Share your list with at least one person daily and invite them to participate. Remember, demand a miracle.
A world of peace and prosperity, one listener at a time. Until next time, grow your mind and your money. Because, yeah, it's a beautiful thing.